bit wide above stump, but not ready to be called a wide. Pommy, are your team getting the shapes?
I'd like to say they aren't, but the evidence says they are. Tentative Matikanyeri is, and you can expect that. But the one that surprised me is Sean Williams. Walks out there and really looked like he had a plane to catch. He was on his way. And you just expected it was a matter of time. There's no real way he was just going to smash everything out the park. All they have to do is bat 50 overs here and nudge the ball around. It's the end of over number 25. 107 for 3.
There is shade in that stand or in that part of the ground, but they obviously aren't interested.
Same again, Mac.
Should just be a single.
Sabina, what he wants is to try and get some boundaries, try and relieve this pressure. Got to use your feet to the off spinner. You'd expect that Stuart Matikanyeri, though, will be looking to stay in his crease. He'll be taking no risks at all.
That's a good shot. Was in the air when it passed McCallan, but it got past him in a flash.
Plays this really well. You see that he's playing it to the onside. Whatever spin there is, he's allowing for it. Stuart Matikanyeri hitting with the spin. And a good stride in as well.
Well fielded. Certainly are supporting their bowlers at the moment, the Ireland fielders.
Ball the heart, buddy. Ball the heart, ball.
Well, he was late in taking off, but he got there comfortably. Very, very late in moving, Matikanyeri.
Come on, boys.
Intentionally stopping his action there. And outfox the batsman. Nearly worked.
Come on.
7 runs from that over. 114 for 3.
They're hopeful. They are, the Irish. And they have reason to be. 114 for 3. Zimbabwe were going along rather nicely and offered the Irish a couple of opportunities, of which they took. And now, having taken those opportunities, have a chance here to try and get right back in this game.
Just looking at that comparison, you would seem to think that Zimbabwe are well ahead. Statistically, they certainly are. Runs and wickets. This game changes quite rapidly at times, though. And talking of change, Andrew White comes into the attack from the George Headley stand end.
He's an off-spin bowler, and Sabina, they expected the ball to turn back into him. It's bowled quite quickly, just went on with the arm, didn't turn at all.
Marty.
Runs. I think he's thinking about 2. Well run.
Very close there, Tish.
So important the running between wickets here. They have to concentrate, these two, Vusis Banda and Stuart Matsikanyeri have to communicate well as well. Good loud call, good early call.
Come on, Whitey, finish it out for us, Whitey. Come up.
To just be 1 on this occasion. Matsikanyeri is hurrying through, looking for the second. That's the correct thing to do as well. Make sure that you put pressure on the fielder. Don't just jog through, as we saw Pakistan doing so regularly on Tuesday. That's a good shot. That will go all the way. Another good over for Zimbabwe. 7 runs coming from it. 121 for 3.
Not as much celebration from the Zimbabweans fans as the Irish ones. Even to good shots like these. It was wide, and Stuart Matsikanyeri got his foot out to it. Hasn't turned too many in this over. And that time, a no turn either. An opportunity to pierce that offside field. Done to perfection.
Come on, Mac. You're the man, Mac. 4 or 5 boys.
Time to top up the tan. Mid off has dropped back to long off, so just a single available. Ian Gould was on his 2-way radio a few seconds ago having a chat, and then now he's having a talk with umpire Brian Jerling. Something in the background behind the batsman might be distracting someone. Certainly wouldn't be affecting the batsman.
That be okay?
Well, well. Perhaps the sun was reflecting off one of the sponsor's signs into the umpire's eyes. Again, that wouldn't affect Zimbabwe. They won't mind that.
No. Molly, Mac. No. Bowling. Go, Mac.
Straight down the ground, all the way.
Six runs. What a good hit this is. Doesn't quite get to the pitch of it, but he follows through anyway, and he makes sure it goes really straight. Stuart Matsikanyeri. What a shot that is.
Yeah, no.
Well fielded.
Good job, buddy.
Andrew White there at backward point. Runs required now into double figures for Zimbabwe.
Wait.
Great to him again.
Serve it, gents.
Another 7-run over. It's 128 for 3.
Come on, boys.
Yes, look at that shot again. Worth looking at again. Right out to the pitch, looking to get to the pitch of the ball, but doesn't. And doesn't worry about that, decides to go through with it anyway. Stuart Matsekanyeri, and he keeps it going straight. Hits it so well, it goes out the park. Oh, he's gone. Vusumuzi Banda has gone too far back, playing against the off spinner, looking to just nudge the ball into the offside, and this is a big wicket. More celebrations all round, and I tell you what, Zimbabwe might be in a spot of bother here. Look at it again. He's just going back here, trying to nudge it into the offside, and it goes just a touch too far. The foot just slides ever so slightly and tramples upon the stumps. And Vusumuzi Banda, after playing so well, is gone for 67. Zimbabwe 128 for 4. $128 for 4, Zimbabwe. Vusumuzi Banda is gone. Elton Chukumbura comes to the wicket. Prolific striker of the ball. Loves to smash it out the park, but he needs to play a measured innings here for his country. A change in the commentary box. Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Cozier is here, and with him, Ahmed Sohail.
Come on, chicken burger, come on!
Right back he went, looking just to push into the offside, too far back. And the wicket, he played really well. Sabanda. 57 of 84 deliveries. And now, match, well, it has been all the way through. Every now and again you feel, well, Zimbabwe are getting on top and then they lose a wicket. And now a ball just drifting past the outside edge. So tense moments here.
Well, at the moment, the match is hanging in a balance. A wicket from here on. The Irish team, they'll be the certain favourites to win the game. But a good partnership.
Bowling, bowling!
Can take the Zimbabwean at home.
Chukumbura is a good player. He has a pretty good record to one-day internationals. He's experienced. And really what they need here now is experience and level heads. Zimbabwe. Heads are not all that level beyond the boundary among the Irish spectators. They're again elated at the fall of the wicket.
Well, at the moment, they require a level head, because pressure makes you do so many funny things.
Yes, please.
Like that. Wicket maiden. Andrew White picks up a wicket and doesn't concede a run in it. Oh, gee, boy. Get the block on. 128 for 4.
Come boys, 5 and 6 straight away, 5 and 6, hey!
So 128 for 4. Double digits now. Zimbabwe need 222 is the target. 221 for 9. Tremendous innings by Bray, the opener, the left-hander. Batted through the innings, 115 in Ireland's first match in the World Cup. Good save. Morgan it is. The Irish now desperate. They know that they are back in this game. They have never been entirely out of it, but they've certainly clawed their way back in, and if anything, have perhaps a little advantage. Maybe not. Let's say it's absolutely even.
Squeeze it in, squeeze it.
Well, they're sniffing a victory, and you could clearly see spring in their feet.
No one here, hey, come on. Money, no one, pal. Middle stump. Yeah. Come a few. For this guy, yeah. Come, Kylie, come, pal. Come on, 5 and 6, boys. 5 and 6 here, come on.
Well, the captain of the Irish team has realized they require a wicket from here on. Slip is in place.
Will they try for a second? They will, and get the second easily. Back it up. Firing the ball to the keeper with the sun behind him. Never a good idea. Just perhaps look at the Duckworth-Lewis system. If, for instance, we had rain or an earthquake or something right now and the match was abandoned. 121 is what Zimbabwe would have to be at the moment. So they're ahead. They would win the match at this stage. It's not going to happen, of course, as they come for the 2, but it's interesting to see what Duckworth-Lewis would have as Zimbabwe's total at this point. We're seeing it's on even keel. Some even saying, well, perhaps Zimbabwe are behind now and that Ireland have taken the advantage. 121 is what Zimbabwe would have to be at the moment. They're now 133 for 4 now. And I think I should explain, especially for South African viewers, that the par 121, if it had happened at this stage, would only tie the match.
Yeah, come on!
You need 122 if it happened, of course, and it won't. Look, a lovely afternoon. Down the wicket and take on. Good catch. Jeremy Bray, what a match he's having. Well, Zimbabwe self-destructing here. Chickenborough goes for 4. 5 down now for 133. 30 overs gone.
Well, the way these Irish people and the players, they are celebrating, says it all. They needed a wicket. And this man in the picture has provided them with an important breakthrough. Wicket number 5. And Chickenborough perishes after scoring 4 runs. And the Zimbabweans, they're in trouble with 133 for 5.
Brendan Taylor now comes in to join Stuart Masakaneri, 2 most experienced players in the very inexperienced Zimbabwe team. They'll need all their experience, all their level-headedness. 133 for 5. That wicket now, as we were showing a while ago on the Duckworth-Lewis system, if they hadn't have lost that wicket, they would have been ahead on that system. Now the wicket has fallen, pulls them behind. So 133 for 5, 89 to win, 20 overs to go, and now only 5 wickets standing, and so they're behind of what they would need if we had some abandonment at this stage. For instance, if the match was stopped now for something. Now in comes Rankin, the tall fast bowler. Probably the tallest player in the tournament. Boyd Rankin at 6'7". Probably the shortest member of any team in the tournament. Short Max Canary, he's 5'2". And here's the dismissal.
Well, the batsman decided to deal with the situation, attack.
No!
It didn't work. In the end, he was hauled out. The Ireland captain is showing intuitive grasp of the situation. He has brought back his premier bowler with a slip in place. Good captaincy.
So there's the equation. 2 experienced batsmen. Brent is still to come. Utsia, the captain. Useful players, but certainly not main batsmen. Big partnership, this one. Pierce cut shot that finds third man just the one. Looks as if we're building up to a close finish here, and Ireland are accustomed to close finishes, but they've lost so many of them. That opening match was against England at Belfast. Did pretty well there. Comparatively close, 38 runs. They beat Scotland. No result against the Netherlands. And then look at the results there. 3 wickets, 4 wickets, 1 wicket. 6 runs. So you can either say that they've had good experience of it, and that really should be to their advantage. On the other hand, they've lost close matches against the Netherlands in Nairobi by 6 runs, and Kenya just by 1 wicket against a full member of the ICC, a full ODI team. By 3 wickets to Scotland. All pretty close results.
Well, looks like this game is going to go to the wire as well. End of the 31st over, 134 for 5.
Well done, pal. Come on. You'll do nothing different, buddy. Monty!
Sabina played really well for his 67, but then pushed back onto his stumps, looking to push it into the offside. Trotting on his wicket. Good save. Canary first saw him against the West Indies as a teenager. In his test debut, did really well against the West Indies and looked a really compact player. But hasn't really kicked on, hasn't done as well as his early form indicated.
Make him go big, eh? Make him go big again, eh? Come on.
That way for middle. Middle stump.
Well, here is the time for Matsakaneri to make up for
Come on,
all those
Come on,
failures.
Good, Maka.
If you can produce a good innings here, I mean, this team is going to win. And he's batting along with Brendan Taylor, who is another good finisher. Likes to play under pressure.
You can't want a better finisher than a man who hits 6 off the last ball to win a one-day international against Bangladesh, which he did last year. Where is he going? Tension. Not only on the field, his dad and mum are watching off the field. They'll be tense too.
It's the pressure.
Fantastic, William. Fantastic, buddy.
Forcing you to do silly things. Single wasn't on. Inside edge on that occasion.
To say, you know, we can sit up here and say what silly shots we've seen and so on, but in the middle, you mentioned the pressure. Befuddles the mind.
Just behind,
He's decided to go over the top. He's got it first bounce before. Ireland won't mind that too much. They've seen batsmen out to lofted shots many times in this innings. 139 for 5.
Well, the reason why the Irish captain placed those fieldsmen in the circle at mid-on and mid-off, wanted the batsman to play such a stroke. This time around, the batsman was on top, played a controlled stroke.
Zimbabwe had the advantage, as you saw there, at this stage of the innings. And has got for 4. Good cut shot. Right on top of it. Short men, they say, cut really well. And Matsakaneri has done that.
Well, the best thing about that stroke was that ball was bouncing. And how well he got on top of that bounce and hit it hard on the ground, away from the fieldsman. And picked up his 3rd boundary.
He went really hard at that, looked to get under it. The 3rd man is there. There's a backward point as well.
You mentioned the short man. They cut well. But the length wasn't right for that short man out there in the middle. It was too short and the bounce was steep as well.
No!
Yeah, we saw early on with the hard white ball how Boyd Rankin used his height to get nice bunks. It's softer, of course. Now we're in to the 33rd over, so it's not going to have that much bounce, but he is so tall, has a high action as well. He will get more bounce than most.
Yes!
Nice shot off the legs, well timed. And will they try for a 3rd? No. Yes, they decide on the 3rd because of a confusion. Really out in the deep. I think they would have settled for 2, but for the confusion in the outfield. McCallan it is, trying to scoop the ball back on the relay. White behind him. Didn't quite get it in sync. Give them the opportunity for the third. Tossed it. Oops, where is it gone? Come three.
Well, he has faltered on many occasions in the field. Now McCullen let the ball go through his legs for a boundary when the innings started.
Nicely played single. Ends the over. 147 for 5. 33 overs gone. 222 is the target. At the moment, we break for drinks.
At Western Union, we understand that cricket is more than just a game. It's a passion you share with everyone back home. Just send money from participating Western Union agent locations to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh or Sri Lanka. Mention promo code Cricket2007 and get your country's t-shirt absolutely free. Get into the cricket spirit now. Transact today with Western Union.
The World Cup games are great. State Farm car insurance discounts are great too. Call a State Farm agent today to see how much you can save on your car insurance.
Dish Network is your home for Cricket World Cup 2007. Don't miss any of the action as the cricket world converges on the West Indies to do battle for ultimate cricket supremacy. Dish Network brings you every ball, every six, every wicket and every moment of glory. Visit www.dishnetwork.com/cricket for details or call 1-877-347-4778. All prices, packages and programming subject to change without notice. Hardware and programming sold separately. Now your Dish Network cricket subscription follows you to the web. Here's how it works. To activate broadband access, go to www.cricketondish.com after you purchase the TV package. Click on the image that says Broadband Access for Dish Network TV subscribers. Read all the details of the broadband access there. Once you have read and understood the details, you can fill out the form to request activation. Note that activation can take between 24 and 72 hours, so order early to avoid delays. Call 1-877-347-4778 to order now.
Lights and sounds of the land of wood and water here in Jamaica, northernmost of the cricketing islands in the Caribbean. Smiling happy faces, and we have an enthralling match on here between Zimbabwe, an experienced team, one which has had full ICC status for some time. Ireland making their first appearance in the World Cup. Duffin dropped twice in the over and then caught third time around. You'll see a lot of this. Batsman caught, looking to hit over the top. Among these wickets, Jababa, the batsman there. John Williams, the batsman here.
Let's do.
Lovely afternoon now, and a really good match we've had here. Very close, competitive, tension. Irish supporters lending atmosphere, real atmosphere, even though the ground is sparsely populated. Would be perhaps 2,500, difficult to estimate in the ground that holds 20. Now Langford Smith comes back and bows a wide. 7 overs, none for 26 before this. Takes over from Rankin. 7 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 43. Yeah, perhaps if you look at the Irish team, maybe the batting relies too heavily on too few players. And what we have seen today, of course, we're just going by that. Bowling looks respectable.
No.
And well balanced.
Well, he produced some good deliveries in his first spell, but most of the deliveries, they were sprayed around. He wasn't consistent with his liner length. There's another opportunity for the bowler to make it up. They are in a search of a wicket here, the Irish team. If he can provide the team with the breakthrough, it'll be a huge contribution. Good fielding.
Not only good fielding, brought excitement to the Irish supporters who thought it went their full. They're just looking to celebrate. Give them an excuse.
Yes.
That's a very good run. Tapped on the onside. Johnston has to come through. He's a big man, has to come across the pitch. Correction, Langford Smith has to come across to make the save. So a single.
You were mentioning that the Irish team, they rely heavily on 2 or 3 batsmen. Well, the way the Irish opener Jeremy Bray batted, he reminded me of Jeff Marsh in 80s and early 90s. The Australian team used to rely on Jeff Marsh to play 50 overs in a one-day game. And of course, Jeremy Bray is an Aussie. He's been living in Ireland for a long time. But when he was growing as a cricketer, he must have been watching Jeff Marsh playing at that time for Australia. And he produced a similar kind of an innings, held the innings together. And he was very impressive. Played some delightful strokes as well. Here's the man we are talking about, Jeremy Bray.
You as an opener, Amir, one-day internationals, was that your prime objective, to go out there and bat all the way through the innings? That's your first consideration? You can answer when we come back, whenever we come back. 158 for 5. Lovely bright sunny afternoon now. Pose the question to Amir Sahil, the former Pakistan opening batsman. We were talking about the approach of the opening batsman in one-day international, and of course you were an opening batsman. Said about Jeff Marsh, and the same thing comparing him today with Jeremy Bray, who batted through the innings, and Marsh looked to do that. When you went out, was that in your mind as well? Is that the objective of most openers, you think?
Well, to be honest, that wasn't used to be on our mind. The only thing that used to be on our mind was to smash the ball. But it depends on the captains, what kind of a role they give you, and you have to perform in a similar fashion then.
And of course depends on the player as well. As we watch Mats Canary, we saw him in the previous over just turn his ankle as he came in for a run, so he's receiving on the field attention now on that ankle. It's just turned. I don't think there's anything all that serious with it. But when you talk about Damir, I don't. Looking at others, Saeed Anwar, who was a tremendous opener for Pakistan. There's how he wrenched it at the non-striker's end, turning and looking for a second. And have a look, Matsukaneri. Oops. Doesn't look all that serious, but he's, I suppose, getting protection there as precaution, and just taking up time, which will give us an opportunity to introduce Ramiz Raja and Jeffrey Dujon.
Thank you, Tony. Oh, that ankle is being heavily strapped as we speak. Ireland have been patchy in the field. They've dropped a few catches. They've been brilliant at times. They've tried extremely hard, so you've got to give it to them.
Yes, yes, yes.
I've been most impressed by Trent Johnston's captaincy. I think he's maintained good pressure on the opposition, kept the fielders in, brought his spinners just at the right time, and made use of Rankin as well. Couple of drop chances. Some good stops, very good stops included.
Oh, down, down!
Showed desperation in the field.
No.
And well, had that been collected, it would have been curtains for Matsukaneri. He's still alive and kicking, just a little hurt. 64 from 90 balls, 4.3 runs per over. Jeffrey Dujon, should be straightforward for Zimbabwe or not?
I think it should be straightforward for them, Ramiz. They can go about this by playing normal cricket. There's no real pressure. The only pressure that can be there is pressure they put on themselves by losing wickets. But there's an interesting question that Tony Kozia asked Amir Sohail before about how opening batsmen approach it, the approach they use in one-day cricket. And looking back to when, you know, one of the opening batsmen is always charged with batting through the innings, batting all the overs. And Amir Sohail and Saeed Anwar used to play so many shots. I wonder which one had that instruction.
But it makes the task awfully easy if your opener is in good form and can play throughout the innings, right till the end.
If one of those two had ever batted 50 overs, I'm sure they would have broken some sort of world record. Ultra aggressive.
Down!
He's been good with his variations. He's stuck to a good line. Banana-like in-dippers, and every now and then just rolling his fingers on the ball, over the ball, and trying to get a leg cutter going. Not bad. None for 17 in his 6th over.
Oh, bowling, Andre, bowling, buddy. This nice ball.
Of all the bowlers, I think Botha's used the conditions best. He's varied. His variation has been very good, and you have to do that on a wicket where the ball is coming on. See where he's been concentrating on that line just outside off stump, mostly coming into the bat.
Bowling, pal.
He hasn't conceded a lot of boundaries as well because of this variation in pace, and because he's been able to swing the ball and hit the good patches. Just one boundary scored of his bowling. Again, you see a bit of leg cutter there.
Finish it off, buddy.
Ball back in case the batsman gets through the shot a little early.
Down. Well done, mate.
It's a maiden at a crucial stage of the game. 5 down, 158 on the board.
Well, Ireland's job now is to pull it back. Ireland's job is to make that equation 64 to win from 84 balls, to bring balls and runs together and then have fewer balls to get more runs. And they can only do that by two ways: keep it very, very tight or get some wickets.
Pretty even Stevens. Advantage at this stage though with Zimbabwe. I say that because they've got a settled batsman out there at the centre. Matsekineri has batted well, 32 from 36 balls now. Stunted appeal from the bowler. Yes, it was bat and pad together. In fact, wasn't pad first and then the bat. Looked hopeful. That's hit smartly, powerfully for a boundary. Mid-on was up in the ring. Knew exactly how to place the ball and from where to get a boundary. Clever piece of batting from him.
He's been hitting the ball beautifully straight down the ground, Matsekineri. This was a slower delivery. Picked it up, didn't try to keep it down, but most important, he found the gap. Went nice and straight, didn't try to go across the line of it. Seems to have it worked out in his mind how he wants to go about this. Important that Brendan Taylor at the other end just supports him. He's been trying to look to get a boundary, one boundary at least every over, which just keeps things right around where Zimbabwe want them, where singles can win the game.
No!
Wouldn't look for him to get too aggressive for the rest of this over. He's got a boundary already. Maybe look for a couple of singles, rotate the strike, frustrate the fielders a little.
He's a fast mover between the wickets. Got there very quickly for that single. Looks pretty busy out there. He has looked, in fact, very busy. Maintaining a good strike rate up in the 90s. What a crucial innings this has been. Sabina looked very eager to finish things off. He left, and now it's Matsekineri who's taken the charge from him. .37 ball, 163 for 5. This partnership hurting Ireland quite badly, 30 from 42 balls. 4.5 runs per over required. They desperately need to get rid of Matsekineri.
That was a much gloomier picture out in the harbour this morning. There's bright sunshine now here at Sabina Park, and things are looking up for Zimbabwe. 163 for 5. There's 59 left and 78 balls in which to get them.
If they can last till the end, Zimbabwe, they'll definitely win this. That is how they should be thinking. Forget about the run rate. Forget about the current situation. Just look to play the entire 50 overs.
Come on, Wiley, come on!
Smashing drive through the offside. Is a good player, Matsekineri, hitting the ball sweetly.
Well, he doesn't fool around with anything that's loose. He's really taking advantage of the chances he's gotten. This wasn't a half volley. Came forward and hit it on the up, but where he met it right under his eyes, that was the important thing. Kept him on top of the ball and just found the gap. It's beautifully played.
Trouble for Botha. The ball is not swinging as much as it was earlier for him.
No!
And with that pace, it's got to be on the spot all the time.
Go, bow tie!
Clearing his pace once again. Bowler Maiden passed over. Botha. Pace variation has been good. He's kept them guessing. Run for 21 in his 7th over. But every now and then he's leaking a boundary, which can't be good for Ireland. More protection now for him. There's a deep cover in place now. Maneuvering the ball expertly through the offside. It has been a pleasing knock.
Once he gets that boundary early in the over, he's quite prepared to just knock it around after that. A sensible cricket. Hasn't really put a foot wrong, Matsekineri. But 42 now from 45 balls.
And getting good support from his partner. Taylor picks up a run, keeps the strike. 169 for 5. Ireland desperately in need of a wicket. Need to just shuffle their bowling options. Maybe get the off-spinner back in, McCullen. He looked pretty decent with his flight and loop. Was on the expensive side, but I guess at this stage runs will or should not matter a great deal. Wickets should. They engage Matsekineri into playing an aerial shot and getting him out. 38 overs, that's the equation for you. Ireland were 149 for 6, Zimbabwe ahead 169 for 5. Better placed. 53 more required for them to win this. Captain is back into action.